right? Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Call Halayim Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Arachak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of great millstone, who taught us his truth. Honors and salutations to the elect, and to the men that died doing the work of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, because they shall rise first. To the men, women, and children that believe on the true name of the Father and the Son, which the Father's name is Yahweh, he exists. The Son's name is Yahweh Shai, he is the deliverer, because he's come and deliver us out of this captivity that we're in. My name is Maka Allah Ben Gab Ben Yasharala with the Church of Philadelphia camp here in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Once again, coming back at you with another one. And this is basically going to be a MOTB update, which you already know the scriptures, Revelations 13 and 16, and Revelations 14. All right, which they this whole place, Babylon, all these other nations is in a race to make these chips. All right, but as it reads here, it says Chinese chip maker fires all American workers. All right, report. All right, so it says it's 6 hours ago. It's longer than that now, but when I got wind of it, it was 6 hours ago. So basically, I want to play this video for you, and let's go.
All right, joining me now, great pleasure, on set, in person, Senator Pat Toomey of Pennsylvania. Senator, welcome.
Hey, Larry. Thanks for having me.
I want to get to some very specific items, but the America First Policy Institute, and look, I would just say conservative scholars everywhere, it's time to present a new agenda. We need a regime change on security, on the economy, on our culture. I mean, that's one of the lessons, that's one of the issues, that's our research, that's what we're trying to do. What you think? Are we too early, too late? I mean, can this be turned around?
Well, absolutely. You know, one of the lessons I've learned from being in this town for kind of a long time now, Larry, is, the battle's never over. You've got to win again and again. I mean, just think about what we just did, right? We went through a big experiment where we said, okay, let's try dramatic tax reform with lower marginal rates. We'll simplify. We won't punish companies for being successful. We'll roll back regulation dramatically. We'll encourage energy production. And let's see what happens. Well, what we got was the best economy of my lifetime. It's indisputable.
And you were instrumental in the tax cuts. I know you're modest, but you were instrumental in the tax cuts.
I'm delighted to be able to play a role in the Senate as you played in the administration. We worked together and we got the biggest tax reform in 30 years, easily, maybe bigger than the previous one. But the point I'm making is, tell me what was wrong with the results. What is wrong with record low unemployment, record accelerating wage gains, with low inflation, asset prices strong, the economy booming, wage gap narrowing? All of those things were happening. And so the Democrats looked at that and said, well, we can't let that go on. We can't have that. And so, they've been trying since Biden became president to tax us into a recession. Now they haven't been able to raise taxes. Thank goodness. There's been one or two Democrats have held out. But the damage they're doing on the regulatory front, on the energy front. By the way, I'm so glad you mentioned the Supreme Court, because, what the media coverage completely
Let me pause that right there.
Ignores.
Let me pause that right there, because he's talking about they're trying to tax us into a recession. And basically, if you understand, know who George Soros is, he's a man that he betted this guy, one of the Rothschilds, so many millions of dollars that he was going to crash his economy. So with them doing that, taxing and keep printing money and doing all these things, that's going to force them into a recession, which it's all about. They want to do away with the money. Now you have a thing coming up, and I believe it's December, the end of December, where they're doing away with cash, December 13th, if I'm not mistaken. All right, and there's going to be a thing called Biden Bucks. And Biden is the same president that he was a senator at the time. He said, basically, mark my word, it's going to come a time where you have to, you're going to have to vote on this chip. All right, so let's go.
Is the fact that we conservatives don't ask the Supreme Court to give us the policy outcome we want. That's the job of policymakers. What we ask them to do respect the law and the Constitution.
Yeah.
And that's what these guys are doing. And that, I agree with you. It's very, very bullish.
Monumental change.
It's huge because let's be honest. The Democrat strategy is to have the administrative state accomplish what they can't do legislatively. And this Supreme Court is saying, no, actually, the executive branch can only do what the law permits. That's a big game changer.
It's what Steve Forbes, our great friend Steve Forbes, almost from day one with the Bidens, called this modern socialism through the regulatory state as they try to jam down our throats, this crazy climate activism, for example.
Which, by the way, I really have a hard...
Yo, and to speak on that, they this climate change thing now, I believe it's the banks, and they're talking about like Bank of America, JP Morgan, banks are that nature, right? They're the banks, the popular banks, all right? What they're going to do, they're going to push out that climate change with the money situation. First, so like they're not going to give you loans if you use too much carbon or something like that, man. You gotta look it up. Just look up it's the banks with carbon, and they're not going to give you loans. And events like the businesses, they use too much carbon for what's that climate change. All right, it's the bank. Look up the banks and climate change. All right, and you should find something on that, which should explain how they're going to start hitting the big businesses. They're not going to give them loans and stuff like this because of the carbon, right? Trying to talk about the climate change and that they're using too much of this, using too much of that. All right, that's where you got your Tesla, which is an electronic car. They're trying to get away from the cars with gas and all that, because as you see, Russia and everything, they like I looked up an article earlier, and it's talking about Russia, like the West needs Russia's oil. All right, so it's all just a plot just to take the cash away, make this a cashless society, and they're forcing you into it. All right, which, hey man, at the end of the day, it's all according to the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, Bahashim Haracha Kwadash. All right, so let's go.
Time getting lectured by them about the importance of preserving.
Oh, Salaki, and real fast, with that, like them not giving loans to businesses is going to stop coming from the businesses to the actual to the citizens. All right, so yeah, it's about to go down. Let's go.
Our democracy, when all of these things they're trying to do are so undemocratic. Have financial regulators decide our climate change policy, have the court deliver the liberal policies that they can enact through legislation. That's so undemocratic to have the unelected, unaccountable parts of our government making those decisions.
That's what we're working on. I mean,
yeah, well, that's important work.
As I said, we're not perfect, but we're building a whole coalition here. By the way, Senator McConnell, who was, I think, instrumental in getting the conservative judges.
Absolutely.
He's going to come on the show. We're going to talk about that because I think the impact of these decisions and this new court is just vast, monumental, and good.
Very, very good and enduring.
So, Pat, tell me, let's sort of look at a few issues, though, that may not be so good. One of them is, I know you're opposed to this CHIPS Plus or whatever it's called, USICA, $250 billion. What's happening here?
Yeah, well, I think you understand this very well, Larry. You know, there's this concern that China is going to displace America in basically all things. As it happens, China does not dominate advanced chip manufacturing. We have much better technology about how to make chips, and we have a very mature industry that is also very profitable and that is expanding in the United States. There are 4 big fab projects already underway, but we've got folks that decided the way you beat the Chinese is to emulate the Chinese and have a big dose of central planning, have taxpayers allocate capital to this profitable existing industry. I think it's a big mistake. It passed the key procedural vote today, however, so it's gonna pass.
I know. I'm going to have to accept the outcome. I don't like it, like
Same
you.
here.
I mean, I would have rather seen, tax cuts, extend the 100% depreciation laws, things of that sort.
Absolutely.
R&D credits could be deductible, those sorts of things for all industries.
You make it available to everyone. Right. And by the way, I think we're heading towards a glut of chips.
I know.
Right? That's where we're going to be.
There is evidence.
A year from now, we're going to hear companies crying to us because we can't make any money because chip prices are so low.
So,
and yeah, he's been smart right there, all right? Because they planned out, they won all these chips. Because what that is, that's the MOTB. So they want to chip the whole globe, man, the whole earth, man. Everybody must get chipped. All right. So, but hey, man, we know once they make this thing mandatory, it's over, man. All right. Things are going to roll so much faster, and the Lord is coming back. But you're seeing so many sightings of chariots and all that. All right. Let's go.
I guess there will be some kind of reconciliation bill, and in that bill, drug price controls and more Obamacare subsidies and Lord knows what. What do you think?
Yeah, so that's the way it looks. It looks like that could be on the floor as early as next week, and it looks like those are the two big elements, right? The Democrats kept expanding subsidies for middle and even upper income people to buy Obamacare, which is ridiculous. But those subsidies are...
Hey, y'all, let me pause it right there. When it talks about Obamacare, now, if you really look it up, Biden was the president, so the vice president when Obama was in office. Now, you look at Obamacare, and page 2006, if I'm not mistaken, of 2003, all right, paragraph 2 or something like that, it talks about an implantable chip. They want to put an implantable chip inside of you, all right, so they could trace your health benefits and all that. All right, like, oh, if they want to put it as like, yo, if he gets he passes out, he's a diabetic or whatever, he goes into the diabetic shock or whatever, goes in coma, and you at the side of the road, they could just scan your chip, and it brings up all your medical information, and they tie it in with your bank account. All right, so these things has already been planned, man. All right, they just putting it into play, and all these niggas that loved Obama and all that, guess what? He wasn't your people, and he tricked the hell out of you niggas, man. All right. So that's why now they're mentioning Obamacare was Trump. They was trying to make Trump seem like he was trying to get rid of it and all that. Man, it's all orchestrated and set up, man. All right? They're double-minded to speak out of both sides of their neck. All right, what it says in scriptures, a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. And these people is unstable. Their house is divided. All right? And the Lord is about to take it down. Let's go.
Going to expire by the design of the Democrats' own bills, and so they desperately want to extend it so that people don't lose that subsidy going into an election. And the way they've decided to pay for all this is to impose price controls on the most arguably innovative and such an important industry that we dominate.
These are the companies, by the way, who develop vaccines in 6 months.
Totally.
Operation Warp Speed.
No other country in the world
could have done that.
To do this. Nobody could have done
Cutting red tape, working with them. If they make a buck, we let them make a buck. 6 months, what people thought could take 5 to 10 years. And so they're going to be punished. If I get this right?
Yeah. So just think about the approach that this administration has taken here. So energy prices have gone through the roof, as everybody knows. And so the administration's response, curtail the production of energy, right? Curtail the supply of energy. Meanwhile, prescription drug prices have been rising at a small fraction of CPI overall.
That's right.
And so let's impose price controls. It just makes no sense, Larry.
Senator Toomey, last one. It's a quixotic effort, but in the America First Policy Institute, I've got Russell Vode, former OMB director, Steve Moore, who will be on this show, my brother, great economist. I'll be involved, Brooke Roth. We're trying to come up with a balanced budget plan. And you are an expert in this area. And first of all, I want to ask you, is it possible? I mean, shouldn't we be talking about a balanced budget? And second of all, Pat, I think one of the keys, there's a growth component. We're going to lower taxes and regulation. But the proliferation of non-entitlements, non-Social Security, non-Medicare, food stamps, welfare, housing subsidies, these have to be cut back. They've grown so much, and they all should have work requirements in them.
Totally should have work requirements.
You agree with that?
Totally. And it's really staggering the amount of money that Democrats have thrown at these things at every category. Larry, I challenge you to come up with a single welfare program that any Democrat senator is willing to cut at all.
Right.
It's like all of these programs have to grow at shocking rates. We threw enormous amounts of money at things like housing and urban transit during the COVID crisis. Turns out state and local governments were collecting record amounts of revenue, but they still got all this money. And now they want to just give them still more. Yeah. This can't go on.
Without the Clinton-Gingrich work requirements.
Right.
I mean, you know what? There's a great study. We're going to run out of time. They're all yelling at me. But Alicia Finley of the Wall Street Journal wrote up a Harvard study that basically showed federal welfare-related assistance without workfare makes people unhappy. They have low morale.
Sure.
They have bad self-esteem.
Yeah.
This is stuff that Arthur Brooks from the AEI did many years ago.
Yeah.
This has come right around again. Harvard, my goodness gracious.
Indeed.
And so there's no paradise here. This is like a welfare paradise. People don't want it. It's no good. It hadn't worked.
They talk about the dignity of work, but then they show their contempt for work when they don't have a work requirement. You're right. Earned success is the way people achieve happiness, and a work requirement's a very constructive element of that.
So we have work to do.
Yeah.
Cavalry's coming.
The cavalry is coming.
We have work to do.
Yeah, we do.
All right, we'll keep in touch. Close touch.
Thanks for having
me. Nobody better. Nobody.
So you see, that's what they're trying to do. All right. So, of course, you got the classic scripture. Like I always like to bring out. This is an MOTB update. All right. So let's grab it. Salaki. Where we at? Cause they got their plans, man. All right, and they're ready to pretty much go full throttle with it, man. Matter of fact, I'm gonna grab this scripture. We ain't gonna grab that because I already quoted it. All right, right now Esau, they're eating, so I want to bring the scripture. I'm gonna just bring this one out, and I'm gonna close it. Okay. Notice in Job, here we go. All right, so we're gonna go to Job 20 and 23. All right. All right, it's the book of Job, chapter 20 and verse 23. Matter of fact, let's I'm gonna start at verse 22. Matter of fact, we're gonna start at verse 20. All right. So this is Job chapter 20, verse 20. 20 verse 20. It says, "Surely he shall not feel quietness in his belly. He shall not save of that which is desired." All right. So let's get the word quietness. I believe I brought this up before, but I think it's quietness means satisfied. All right, here we go. Let's play that.
Strong's H7961. Shalev, and second entry, Shalev, and third entry, Shalev, and fourth entry, Shalev, and fifth entry, Shalev, and sixth entry, Shalev.
All right, which means quiet, at ease, prosperous. All right, so he's not going to be able to fulfill his whole what he has planned. All right, and that's what we just watched in that video. That's what they're pushing for. All right, they want to chip the whole world. They got their whole plans in order. So they think they like I said, man, we're gonna read the scripture, but they're eating right now. The plate is looking good to them. They got the sides, the mashed potatoes, the veggies, about to dig into the steak, got their glass of wine and all that, But guess what? They're not going to be able to get it done. So check it out. It says, let's read 20 again. This is Job chapter 20 and verse 20. It says, "Surely he shall not feel quietness in his belly. He shall not save of that which he desired." All right, he desires to enslave the whole planet, but he's not going to do it. It says, "There shall none of his meat be left. Therefore shall no man look for his goods. In the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him." All right, so everybody's about to come at America, man. these devils, because they're the nucleus of what? NATO, man. The North Atlantic Treaty Organization. All right, which is a part of the beast system. Okay, it says verse 23. It says, when he is about to fill his belly, the Most High shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. All right, he's eating right now, but the Lord is about to destroy him. But you're starting to see what? More chariot sightings all over, especially over there in the old world, all right, which is the east, back over there, the east, man. This is the Western society, so this is the new world, all right. That's why it's called the New World Order. This is the new world, so they want to change everything to be just like this place, which the Lord, man, he's done with it. All right, it says, he shall flee from the iron weapon, and the bow of steel shall strike him through. All right. So the Lord is about to destroy you. All right, it says, it is drawn and cometh out of the body, yea, the glittering sword cometh out of his gall, terrors are upon him. All right, and where are we at? We're at the beginning of World War III, man. All right, the beginning stages. And the Lord is about to destroy this place. He's about to destroy this man and his system. All right, so Lord's willing, you got something now that was edifying. Just be aware, man. Stay prayed up, because we almost out of here. So with that, I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Arachakodash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, a great millstone. Shalom to the elect. And to the men, women, and children that believe on the true name of the Father and the Son. All right, which the Father's name is Yahweh, he exists. The Son's name is Yahweh Shai, he is the deliverer. So the next lesson, I'm going to say Mwafa Baba Ball, Death to America, Kwam Yasharala. Shalom.